A few years ago, my family and I recorded a small jingle to raise funds for the Akanksha Foundation. That showed me how education not only changes belief in students, but in families too. Today, I am joined by Akanksha alum Sajida, whose journey reflects growth and the freedom to explore ambition.
Maybe my options were a bit limited, but I just needed to find out something that would make sense to me in terms of education and profession.
My name is Pragya Deepak, and this is Made for More.
Hi Pragya.
Could you tell us a little bit about your early life? Who all were there in your family, where you grew up?
So my early years were spent in Zakaria Bandar. My father is a cab driver and my mom is a housewife, while I have 4 older siblings. So yeah, that is how my childhood was basically.
And how did Akanksha first come into your life? You mentioned that you joined Akanksha since the first grade, right?
No, since the senior KG, junior KG, since
Okay.
when Akanksha was starting. Basically, I was going for my LKG at some other school where my mom got to know about a new school which has opened near my vicinity. So that's when my mom discovered Akanksha, and that time there was no classroom or anything as such. They were taking admission and getting students on board. So me and 4 of my friends were the first 4 kids who joined Abudhyanagar Akanksha school. And yeah, that's how we progress ahead.
And you mentioned you were the first batch of that
Yeah.
Akanksha school, right?
Yes, we were the first batch.
Circle time was a big part of your life at Akanksha,
Yeah.
especially in the mornings. What were some of the activities you did then? How did that shape who you are today?
So basically, circle time was, as you can understand, it was just all of us sitting in a circle, and there was never really a particular topic. Every time used to come, sometime used to just share how did the week go by and what did we learn in classroom, what we are looking forward to the next week, exam pressure. All these topics were discussed. And then we started discussing a lot about values, value words like integrity, honesty, something that we should imbibe in our daily life that way. And then you just reflect act of honesty or an act of respect, and how we should treat and behave in with different people around us that way.
And did you enjoy taking
I
part
loved
in-
it.
Okay.
It was really good to start your day with something apart from studies, apart from maths. It was just like a break, and our mind used to also be fresh, and we had something to look forward to the entire day.
Was there one teacher who really made an impact in your life and changed and shaped who you are?
Yeah, there honestly are a lot of teachers, but Yash Bhaiya is one of them. Chitra Vishwanath, Chitra Didi is one of them. Yash Bhaiya was my teacher in 3rd and 4th grade. 2nd and 3rd grade, basically Yash Bhaiya was my first male teacher and first positive male influence apart from the people at my home. When Yash Bhaiya came, I was kind of scared of him because he's totally someone stranger, and as we grew up listening from our parents that you should stay away from strangers and maintain your distance, and already there was some kind of myth related to the gender. But when
Okay.
Yash Bhaiya became the first male teacher and I started spending time with him, and the way he opened up and the way he communicated, it was fantastic. My parents and all the parents also saw how he was treating us. A lot of parents were a bit hesitant about a male teacher being your class teacher and spending so much time with girls and a girl dominant class. But with Yash Bhaiya, it was really amazing. We used to jump on his back, we used to pull his ears, we used to call him Gorilla Bhaiya. So we used to do all of this stuff with him, and he was just so patient and so kind. He was so understanding. I remember him teaching my sister math. I am horrible in math. I don't like math. So in school I was struggling, so he used to take sessions with my older sister and used to teach her, you go home and you do this is how the homework is done, or this is how a sum is solved. So he was teaching me and my sister to help me better. So that's when my parents also saw that, he's like a good influence and he's a good person and he just wants the best for me.
COVID was tough for everyone in multiple different ways, and it brought challenges for many people at different points in their lives. What was COVID like for you?
During COVID, I just given my 12th standard board exams.
Okay.
Like I just gave my exam, and after 2 days, it was like COVID hit and everyone was in lockdown. So at that moment, it was basically like surviving and trying to stay alive. But after that, college admission started. When I was in my 12th standard, I was doing MCVC, food product technology and catering. But that was not something that I wanted to continue for my graduation. I did an internship and I felt that it is more sort of an hobby than something that I want to do as a profession. Then I was very confused, but because it was board exams, my full focus was on boards rather than choosing what to do, and I thought that I would have time. So in COVID, when everything was in lockdown, there was nothing really, in mind about taking admissions or anything like that. But when the admission process started and government announced that you can do all these online class and everything to keep the curriculum and everything going, I didn't know what to do at that time. I was just so confused and I couldn't go meet anyone. Like the office was shut, people were at home. At phone, I was trying to research and understand more and more, but I was like very, very blank for a month and so. And then also during COVID, there was a lot of financial issues. I basically thought that I'll take a year break. So while I did my research and I found out about BMS, like I reached out to the alumni team at Akanksha, I reached out to my mentor, I just started doing a lot of search by myself to see what I can do after MCVC. Like maybe my options were a bit limited, but I just needed to find out something that would make sense to me in terms of education and profession. At that time, Akanksha people helped a lot. They gave me like all these different options. The team was very helpful. When I got my options, when I spoke to a lot of people who were doing BMS, business management studies, and what option I would have in this field, I was sure about it. But then again, to book my like seat for in college, I needed to pay fees. And at that time, that was not something that was prioritized in my life or even in my family. Everyone was just trying to survive and keep the house running when there was no job or anything. So I thought that I'll just take a year break and then I'll come back to it maybe in a year when things are more sorted out, when COVID is not that, the pandemic is not like that killing us. So then Chitra Vishwanath, my school principal, she reached out to me and she was like, have you taken your admission? What is like it looking like? And I just told her that, this is my issue. I don't think I will be able to pay the fees, so I'm going to take a break. And she was like, no, Akanksha has started this early scholarship fund where you can, even before paying the fees, you can take the scholarship and you can like book a seat. So I was like, I don't know how that works. And she got me in touch with all these people in Akanksha, the team, and then they helped me to like secure my spot. Now that was done. I got my spot secured through Akanksha, but then to pay the remaining fees was a question. And I didn't want it to burden my family or like my parents or my siblings. So I was like, I need to find something to stay in college. That's when my mentor from Lighthouse, her father had his own like outdoor media agency. So she offered me a part-time job at her father's place. So yeah, so she was like, you can join and he'll pay you this much, which was fine, which was a good salary. And I knew that if I save properly and if I manage my money properly, I can pay my fees.
And about narrowing down from hotel management to BMS, business management studies, how did that decision happen? How did you narrow down so specifically on one field you wanted to pursue?
I really like marketing.
Okay.
Something that I've heard from a very young age or something that I can remember is my communication is good. I'm sometimes shy, but then if I open up to a conversation, I can speak. So I was like, marketing was making sense to me at that time in terms of communication, in terms of conversation and having those skills. So then I was very specific that I don't want to take maths.
Okay.
I was like, I'm done after 10, so there's nothing in my life that would have maths. But unfortunately, BMS did have math. So when I joined BMS, I was focusing on HR and marketing. Now, marketing is a really vast field if you go to see it. So it's not like limited to one job or one aspect or just one industry. It's like very vast. So that interested me a lot. So I did outdoor media agency, I did edtech, now I'm doing remote fitness coaching company. So everything has marketing. So I was just trying to see which field I can pick up, which source I can take. There could be news, there could be like, all these marketing and performance marketing, digital marketing. So that's how I was interested. And because I was speaking to so many people who are doing marketing in different field and different roles, it just like sparked an interest. So that's how I was like, I'll take BMS.
Okay.
I'll struggle a bit with maths, but at least I know that this is something that I would do, and I would have options to, figure out my life.
Now that you're at Fight the Sunrise, are there any values or any activities that have helped you become who you are today?
I think there are a lot of things, there are a lot of values. At least in my grade, or at least when I was studying, values were really important. Something that I feel a lot of school don't cover is basic civic sense or basic human behavior that is there. Chitra Vishwanath, my principal, she always made sure that we, along with education, were becoming better humans. She understood where we were coming from, the community that we were living, what kind of scenes and scenarios that we were seeing every day. So she wanted us to be above that. She didn't make us feel bad about where we were coming from, or she didn't make it seem like, it's a horrible place and there was nothing like that. She just said that, to become a better human, you should have better values. You should have these basic sense, basic like human decency that was lacking where we were coming from, that you should start understanding and start putting it in your community as well, giving back to your community as well. So all these things like basic value, basic communication, basic behavior, that has helped me a lot wherever I go. Not just at work, but wherever I go as a human, that has helped me a lot. The words like empathy, integrity, excellence, like basic emotions like perseverance, all these things have helped me a lot. So I would say it's like an ongoing journey where I'm still trying to become a better human.
And you speak about the community. Many girls like you face child marriage. So what have you done that has helped you overcome that?
I think Akanksha did that part for me. As I said, in empowerment class and all these sessions, they really educated our parents. They really broadened the horizon for our parents to understand how life works.
Okay.
Marriage is a good, and everyone might have to get married at one point.
Yeah.
But before that, they help every parent understand that your child is an individual, and it's very important for them to be sustainable and financially independent as an individual.
Yeah.
Marriage will come in picture. You can get married whenever you want. That's not in question. Yeah, so it was very important to be like a proper individual, to understand life, to achieve something by yourself before marriage. And basically in my family, marriage is not in question. My mom would want me to get married by 25 because biological clock and everything that she says. But she's like, till 25, be at least in a stable relationship.
Okay.
So love marriage and all is not like a taboo or something which is opposed in my family. If I find a good guy, that's like that option is available.
And what's your dream for the future?
Right now, my dream for the future has always been to buy my own house, which is quite expensive in Mumbai. But that's been like the ultimate goal, to have my own home, my own safe space.
And you mentioned you're working in the sales department at FTS, but at some point in the future you want to shift to performance marketing. How are you planning to take that decision?
So I've done sales for like 3 and a year and more, like 3.5 years. I enjoyed it. I feel that I've achieved quite what I was looking for in terms of sales, in terms of number. But then I didn't want to limit myself to only sales. When I said marketing is a vast field and a vast career options that are available. So why not try something different?
Yeah.
I don't know if performance marketing would work for me, or if I would be interested 2 years down the line.
Yeah.
But there's no harm in trying something different and giving it a bit of risk and time.
Now on to the fun segment, the rapid fire round. Favorite book?
Currently it would be The Shop in Tehran.
Favorite book genre?
I don't have a specific
Okay,
genre.
but what would you pick up?
Anything which gives life lesson and just real life kind of stories.
Where do you want to be in 10 years?
I want to be better than what I am right now, in a better community for sure, but just improving every day. And if I'm in 10 years, then someone who is better in 9 years, that way.
3 phrases to describe the role Akanksha's played in your life.
Okay, that's difficult. Something that I learned from all the people who were there in my life through Akanksha, through Lighthouse, is nothing is impossible. The word itself says I am possible. So I just keep it in my mind always.
If you could switch lives with anyone, who would it be?
Chitra Didi.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Coffee, chai, or neither?
Neither.
One app you use way more than you'd like to admit.
ChatGPT.
One prank you're most proud of.
I remember calling when I got a new number, I remember calling all my school friends and behaving like the college that they were applying to, like UWC and all, and being like, you got accepted.
Oh.
So I remember all of their expression.
Are you a structured routine or more of go with the flow kind of person?
Someday very structured routine, like I have to get this done in a day. Someday I'll go with the flow. So depends on how the day looks like.
One small joy that keeps you going through tough days.
I think seeing my mom being so proud and happy.
And one thing you hate about being an adult.
Showing up to work every day sometime.
Your go-to emoji on WhatsApp.
I don't use emojis, but it would be hard if I have to react to something.
Thank you so much, Sajida. Genuinely, thank you for taking the time to be here, and lots to learn from you. You know, one thing that stood out was to have a mantra for yourself, and I really like your never give up kind of attitude. So thank you once again, and hope to stay in touch.
Yeah, it was great speaking with you.